this is your 3 note ones, okay? Okay, someone on this table can have the microphone, okay? Which one of those 2 that I just played would you say is the easiest out of the 2 and why?
First of all, take me back to before you had the system in the school. What was it like, and what was it an issue for pupils and teachers to sometimes be heard?
I think so. Even though our deaf children had their own equipment, for example, hearing aids and radio aids, we found that sometimes, particularly in practical classrooms, which were a little noisier, they struggled to sometimes hear not necessarily the teacher, but other students' contribution, and things would get lost amongst the general hubbub. What we've found now that we've got the sound field is that the atmosphere in the classes is actually much calmer because the teachers aren't needing to raise their voices to be heard in practical lessons. So our deaf students are able to hear much more clearly. They are also then able to hear the contributions of other students because we have the microphone that can be passed round, and they're finding that they're engaging much more with the learning, that they're not missing as much language, they're finding it easier to understand the vocabulary, and they're making more progress.
And then the teacher wears around their neck, because reason why I have to use it because it's like make it more louder and it's even more clear.
I think even though our school is very acoustically sound because it's a relatively new building, there are always those pockets in school, particularly the practical subjects such as art, textiles, DT, music, where the noise levels are always going to be louder. Yeah. And it's those lessons in particular that we found it very beneficial. And even our staff, we have a couple of staff who are also deaf, and they find it much easier to teach and makes their lessons much more effective.